Hey everybody, and this is going to be a bit more of a serious video than ones I normally do. I'm usually quite happy, I'm usually trying to talk about good things, but today we're talking about something a bit controversial and a bit sensitive. So next month is going to be the release of Sia's new movie, Music, and whilst everything has calmed down now on that topic and everybody seems to either not want to see it or want to see it, people have made their mind up, I thought I would make a video talking about why people might be offended by the premise of the film, the casting of the film, Sia's tweets, and all these things. I'm also going to be talking about my own experiences with the autistic spectrum. This may be the only time I ever bring it up, but I feel it's quite good for the context of this video. So, a couple of months back, I believe it was in November, Sia released a trailer for her new movie, and Music it's called. It looks interesting enough. People have been giving it rave reviews who haven't seen an issue with this, but very strikingly, there is a non-verbal autistic character, and it's isn't being played by someone on the spectrum, which a lot of people have a problem with, understandably so. It depicts this character being somewhat sensationalized and somewhat typified, I suppose, which is always going to be the case if you try and make this, I suppose, because Sia's not on the spectrum. Sia's not got the experience, and that's no dig at her. It's just a fact. You haven't lived with this, as far as I know. I don't know if you know anybody with it. I don't know how close you are to the situation. I know that she said she did 3 years of research, which is always a good way to go, but not a lot of people were too happy with the depiction, even in the trailer. And a lot of people saying wait till the movie comes out. I will counteract that and say that trailers are meant to be the first idea you have of a movie, and you're meant to set the tone, you're meant to set the pace. And generally the people who like the trailers go in and like the movie. So I feel like it's very fair to judge the movie already. I feel that maybe when the movie comes out, we'll be talking about possibly a really good movie. I don't think that changes people's views on this character and this casting. Now, in addition to all of this, Sia actually went out and made a series of responses to people's criticisms. I'm going to put a number of those responses on screen right now. Now, in my opinion, that's really unprofessional. I feel like especially the bad actor tweet was not nice. I know that she probably didn't mean it, but it comes across that she's saying that autistic people cannot act. And that's just not the case, is it? There's so many autistic actors. I've seen people throwing names. Helena Bonham Carter's on the spectrum. Jim Carrey has ADHD, I believe. All these things, there are great actors who are on the spectrum, and there are probably great actors in the age group you could have found if you really wanted to. Now, obviously, the story goes that Sia tried to work with a non-verbal autistic person, and it did not work because the environment was too stressful for the actor. Completely understandable. But then I have 2 questions about that. Number 1, why did you not go for another actor on the spectrum, maybe someone who can handle those conditions a bit more? Or more ideally, why didn't you try and change the setup of the filming to suit that actor? Personally, I think that would be the best way to go about it. I'm not saying it wouldn't still be problematic for the shoot, but it's better to try and make everybody feel included, I think, and that would have been a very nice thing to do. And the other issue is some people saying that there was no actor even approached on the spectrum because And if you look back at paperwork, the actress who's currently cast has been attached to this for what must be over 3 years at this point, right? And if that's the case, then why make up the story? It doesn't make you look any better, you know? It really doesn't make you look any better. But if it's true and you did, then I personally feel you should have tailored the shoot to that person, because you'd have got the most authentic and most believable, unoffensive performance possible, and it would have been true representation, which is something that cinema really needs, I think, sometimes, maybe all the time. No. But this was a good opportunity for people to be truly represented, not in the sensationalized way that a lot of shows do, where we are absolute geniuses and we're just a bit quirky, right? But you know, again, the movie's not out yet. The movie is not out yet. I probably will not be seeing it because this has soured me. But if it turns out that it depicts it really well and all these things, good for them. Great for them. But I just really feel like this was not handled well by Sia. I think even she's realising that now of her recent press tour. Don't know if anybody's seen her tweets lately and her interviews lately. It's glad to see that she's learning and she's understanding, but the decision's been made now, you know, it's already been filmed, it's already been edited, all these things, and those tweets are still out there. But yes, as someone on the spectrum himself, you can skip this if you want, I'll put some timestamps. Again, my personal experience lies mainly in my voice, my thought process, like the speed of which I can do things, my reactionary time, and things like that. Now, a non-verbal autistic person is completely different to me. Completely different to me. They will face completely different struggles to what I do. They'll face completely different positives to what I do. But they're still wonderful people, and they deserve to be represented, and they deserve to be given the respect and help that they need, you know? And that's what sticks for me. I feel like this is I will represent you sort of thing, you know? I don't think this is a genuine way of representing somebody. Again, I think Sia has the best intentions in the world for this, but it's certainly not come across that way, and I want her to reevaluate if she can. And maybe that sounds a bit pushy. Maybe that does sound a bit pushy, but I feel like when dealing with, when you're creating a voice for a community, maybe you should listen to that voice as well, if you see what I'm saying. I feel that there are going to be people who really enjoy this, and there'll be people on the spectrum who really enjoy this and think this is a great thing. And that's awesome. That's great. That's a great bit of representation for you. But there are, of course, going to be people who want to know the process and want to know how you came across representing, why you came across representing us, and why it has come out the way it has. And I feel like you should be answering those questions without the anger and stuff that you have been, you know, displaying. Again, this is no attack on Sia as a creative, great artist. But I took issue with a lot of those tweets and how they were worded, and also the general Twitter response. Like, there were a lot of people in the I can't find screenshots, unfortunately, because it was months back now. That's what you get for waiting a long time to make these videos, right? But a lot of the responses were people saying, "Don't listen to the haters." Now that works when somebody's debuting a new hairstyle and people say the hairstyle sucks, right? That does not work when it's people of that ability, right? That you've been describing it as, talking about how they don't particularly like the portrayal, right? It's a very dangerous minefield to be in, and unfortunately you haven't got it right, in my opinion. And then you have loads of comments saying people are just being snowflakes. It's typically possible, right? And you've got people saying that this movie is going to be great, it's a great depiction. That's very valid. But again, just for people saying don't listen to the haters, are you being for real? These aren't haters. These are people on the spectrum, or people who know people on the spectrum, who are saying that this is not a good depiction. This is not a good way of casting people. And yeah.
Okay, hold up. I'm so sorry. I forgot one thing to add when I was recording this video, so I'm adding it in post. Another questionable thing about this movie that Sia has not really commented on yet is that she is currently making this movie in accordance with a group called Autism Speaks. Now, if you don't know fully about this company, I will be putting some links in the description, but they've raised a lot of controversy for their methods on discussing and tackling quote-unquote autism, and often look like they're a company to help eradicate autism rather than help it. Yeah. I'd just personally like to know if Sia either A, holds these views, or B, knows about this, and if so, why are you associating with this organisation? Alright, back to the video.
If you want to see it in a month, go see it, but I personally will not be seeing it. I personally will wait to hear what is said first about the movie itself, and hopefully, this is all misunderstanding, right? But the damage probably has been done from a PR standpoint, I think. And yeah, I'd love to see more roles go to autistic people. I'd love to see more genuinely told autistic stories. Maybe one day I'll write one. Maybe I'll be one of the first people to actually tell one from... I said one of the first, by the way. One of the first to depict this story properly. And we shall see. But for now, have a great day, guys. I hope you're all doing well. Have a great new year. I know that we're about 5 days in now. But let us know if this movie affects you at all, what you think about the casting, what you think about the whole Twitter drama. And yeah, see you all soon.
Yeah!